All right, very excited to talk to our next guest, Joe Samara from Black Sheep Promotions and Delray Beach Boxing. We are at the Delray Beach Tennis Center where people are serving themselves back and forth, and that's always great. But we're going to switch it up a little bit, come up in September 10th, get a little bit more violent up in here, a little bit more action. I like tennis as much as the next guy, Joe, but I like the fact that you guys are switching it up a little bit. For those who don't know, you guys have been putting on your own promotions at your own gym in Delray Beach Boxing, but you decided to blow it up a little bit and do something a little bit big. This is much bigger. So what kind of came to be? How did you decide that you wanted to take your shows, which have been very successful at your gym, and kind of blow it up a little bit?
It started, we took over Delray Beach Boxing in January of 2020, like right in the middle of COVID. From there, we decided to do our first show. Coach Kevin Cunningham, we brought him on board to basically just train his fighters at our gym. We became good friends. And from there, he decided to, give me some ideas, some pointers. He's been in the game for 30 years. He said, hey, why not let's throw your own show? Let's partner up and do it together. So, I let him guide me a little bit. We did our first one, this past year, March 4th, at our actual gym, which was a huge success. But we realized we outgrew that right after the first one. So we decided to try to go big. It might be a little bit bigger than we expected, but,
So the idea of doing it bigger, when you were putting this card together and the fighters that you guys wanted to showcase, how did that all come to be?
Well, obviously, Coach Kevin Cunningham has his stable of fighters that train at our gym, and they have a huge following. And these guys, we thought that hey, they wouldn't be able to bring as many people as we expected, but we sold out of the tickets within the first month of selling them. So we knew that if we were going to do another show with some of the same fighters plus more, that we're going to have way more of an audience than we had.
And who are some of the fighters that you're excited about showcasing here?
So we have Antonio Bang Williams. He's a 14-0 pro. You have Lawrence B.T. Newton, also 14-0. One of our new debut guys. He's 2-0 now. Jonas Sylvain. We're actually bringing down Jim Torney. He's a heavyweight guy. He's actually in Wilder's camp right now, helping him with sparring for the fight, which unfortunately just got postponed.
I know, it's crazy. That's one of these things that's been I felt like it kind of felt like it was over with the COVID stuff, but now we've had two big cards derailed by it now over the last 2 months with the Teofimo fight and now this fight.
I think probably off topic, but I think that's an excuse sometimes people use when they're actually not ready.
I've heard some of that too. There's definitely been some rumblings about the Lopez fight that isn't so much, I guess, with this one. This one kind of snuck up with the whole thing. Is there anything just kind of off topic of the event, but you guys with your gym, is there anything you guys do preventive wise? Because I know it does feel like a lot more open than it has been in months past.
Nothing really. We try to obviously we clean the gym as much as we possibly can. We obviously ask our members, hey, don't come in if you're feeling certain symptoms. But luckily we've been lucky enough that we haven't had that issue, and we had two camps at our gym. We had Leon Lawson's camp and we had Erickson Lubin's camp at our gym this past few months. So.
What about as far as putting on shows locally? A lot of people have done shows, down in Dade and in Broward and stuff like that. What do you think about the idea of bringing something in a town like this, Delray Beach? Very hopping downtown. It's a very cool place to have this type of venue where a lot of people like to come down here. They like to party. They like to come and check out a showcase like this. I feel like it'd be a good kind of all around experience that night of not only getting you guys people to come here, but then they have the kind of the scene of it all.
Well, I think anytime people think South Florida, they think automatically, hey, South Beach, Miami. But what people don't realize is Delray is becoming the next, south part of, people are now starting to say, hey, let's go to Delray. That's the poppin' spot. So, my partner Justin, he's helping me co-promote everything. He started doing some research, and we said, hey, why not do it at the tennis center? So we came together and we kind of spoke to them. And there was actually a fight here in 2002.
Oh, really?
That was the last time there was a boxing match here. So, when we spoke to them, they were actually very excited, very helpful to get us on board here. And we're hoping to do the rest of our shows here going forward.
Being around the sport as long as you have, do you feel like that experience is good for these young guys early in their careers? 2 fights, 3 fights, even 14 fights, just the idea of they're showcasing an event. There's the idea that the experience that they can go through, it's going to feel big. You're going to walk into an arena. There's going to be 1,000+ people here or whatnot in this kind of a venue. Like, what kind of benefit do you think that is for a young fighter to just go through the stuff where stuff gets bigger and bigger and bigger?
I mean, I think the upside with Black Sheep Promotions in general is that we're trying to have our fighters, fight on like a big platform from the jump. Hey, it's still a local show, but you're talking about, hey, a couple guys are debuting on this card. There's a couple guys that have only 2 or 3 fights on this card, and they're going to fight in front of 2,500 people, opposed to most guys, do their first 10 shows in front of 100 people. No different than the amateur shows that they're used to. So I think that's a big stepping stone for us to be able to offer these young fighters, alongside our fighters having the opportunity to train with the great Kevin Cunningham, who he's trained. You name him, he's trained them. So
yeah, what did you think about the Lubin performance? He looked really, really good.
Oh, I think he was sensational. I don't think he could have had a better performance. He went in there. He had a game plan. He stuck to it, and he got him out of there in 6 rounds. So I mean, I think he's next in line for Charlo or whoever wins out of Charlo and Castaño. So,
what do you think is people who get the opportunity to see fighters down here from South Florida, who get to train down here? What do you think about the talent crop down here? And do you see that it's growing? Because South Florida's definitely been on a much bigger stage over the last year. I feel like with us being a more open state, and people are going to be like, where can we go? We can go to South Florida. But as far as the boxing guys that you see in your gym, just what do you think of the overall talent that people may not know? I
think that there's more talent here than people even know. But I think the biggest issue that we have in South Florida in terms of boxing is exposure. And unfortunately, we're in South Florida. People rather go party than, hey, go to a boxing match. Even of recent, the Mayweather-Logan Paul event, like, it was a great event, but, it wasn't as packed as you would expect it to be. Yeah. Opposed to an Erickson Lubin's fight, which was in Atlanta. He was the co-main event against Gervonta Davis. That was a sold-out crowd. Like, we were there, and there was nowhere to move. So I think, the talent is here. I think it's just a matter of getting people to, become more of fans, I would say.
Just so you get more exposed to the sport and fall in love with it.
Get more exposed in sports in general, not only boxing. I mean, you're talking about, years ago we had LeBron James play for the Miami Heat. Games weren't always sold out. That's not heard of now, in regards to wherever him playing in LA or wherever he is.
Anything else you want to say about the show before we get out here? Coming up September 10th, where people can get their tickets, how they can find themselves at the venue.
You could go to Black Sheep Promotions on our Instagram. We have our direct link there, which you can actually go to our Eventbrite link. You can buy fight apparel to support our fighters. Other than that, I'd hope to see you guys there.
Absolutely, man. We're looking forward to the show. It sounds like it's going to be a fun one again. September 10th, coming here at the Delray Beach Tennis Center. Joe, we appreciate the time, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.